in other cities throughout.
What's crazy is the algorithm they used to forecast where he's going, like the trajectory of where he was heading. If you took like a week out of his life and you cut it in half, and you said one team take advantage of what he's gonna do tomorrow and track it with algorithms and everything he does, and then try and predict the next week after. If you took that exact thing and reversed it and then said, okay, now predict what he did before by predicting the future and see what he did before and see how accurate it is compared to the team that analyzed it before, you might be able to analyze not only the future but the past actions of what someone was doing in accordance to an algorithmic understanding of not only the functional behavioral patterns that a person would do, but the sentience impression that they would have gotten from their environment and past experiences. And therefore, they're developing what I believe is some of the most advanced algorithms in order to take a country and predict a person's movement, but not only where they are headed, but also where they've been. And because of that, they're not only be able to predict the future, but the past in forecasting and warfare concepts. And if you actually take this into like a deeper boson particle level, and you get a little nerdy with it with quantum physics, you could technically say that that same algorithm can be applied to the atom crashing into the other atom, and you could reverse it, and you can track all the atoms backwards and make a trajectory of understanding of forecasting where they're going to be or forecasting the past, and therefore you can technically start to simulate the past or the future, and therefore be able to see a literal simulation of what that person's reality is going to be through mathematics and the forecasting of mathematics in and of itself. And therefore, this understanding of this warfare and how they were able to succeed is kind of admitting to the world that they have one of the most sophisticated algorithms that are there in order to capture diplomats or any of the leaderships of other countries by predicting their entire nature, forecasting not only the future but the past as well, thereby putting them in a pincer attack of extreme intelligence over their enemy or adversary, which is why this is such an impressive feat through the governance, because this algorithm is technically open and out there for everyone to use. However, it was used specifically in order to capture a president, which is one of the most impressive precedents of how these mathematics is used with supercomputers, as well as forecasting people's movements, their food habits, or where they're going to go eat, watch TV, watch shows, what they're drinking. And as soon as you get more variables down in their life and you can predict the future, you can predict the past. So if every Tuesday I drink a soda, then the past week, the Tuesday I drink a soda. And that's predictable by the factor of a variable of chaos. And the variable of chaos is, of course, freedom of will, where that time something came up or something was planned, and therefore you're be able to predict that as well through the past and the future. And therefore, this algorithm that they sort of snitch on themselves with, because one day capturing the president would mean you knew every single thing they were going to do, where they were going to go, what they were eating, what they were drinking, where they were going to bathroom, where they're sleeping, who they were sleeping with, and every single detail in there, you will be able to put it into an equation of an algorithm and put it into a supercomputer in order to predict the future and the past of the person, in order to get a full profile, in order to predict what they're going to do, what they're going to say, and when they're going to say it. And therefore, you're going to be able to predict the exact action and moment that it's going to happen, and therefore guarantee absolute victory over a mathematical level of not only military genius, but scientific perception of how human interactions work.